Very good day to all my students. Today we'll be dealing on the subject fashion cycle. Before I get into this fashion cycle, let's just go to the fashion cycle. I'd like to tell you something about it. See, every product in this world, every life in this world has got a certain life period. That life cycle, the life period is called, here you are manufacturing a new product. It is based on some style. That style is made by a designer. So that designer introduced that style in the market after assessing that it will succeed. So once it is introduced, it will start selling. Then many people will start buying it, and finally people get bored by it, and then it stops sales, that particular style. In a product in fashion, this various stages it undergoes in sales is called a cycle. So we call it in short fashion cycle. You can take an example. A tortoise has got 120 years lifetime. A human being average life cycle in Japan is 84. It's the highest in the world. In India it's touching 69, 70 average life cycle. So actually in Japan you have the highest population of people of 75 plus is so much, where they looked after their old people. Similarly here, a product has got a certain lifetime, let's say 6 months. If it withstands 6 months and able to sell decently in the market, it has undergone one cycle. That one cycle we call fashion cycle. So let's say, very simple terms, a period of time, a lifespan during which it comes across 5 stages. That is, it is introduced, sales rises, it attains peak and certain plateau, then the sales decline, and then lately obsoletes. It goes to the deathbed. So that is what we call fashion cycle. The point is, the customer wears a certain style. That style is accepted by a majority, is called fashion. So what is the total amount of time? It may be 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, it may be. So what is the total amount of time? It's withstanding in the market with continuous purchases. It's called a life cycle. So year to year it changes. So let us talk about in months before I go into that. Yeah. Again, for the designer, what is the cycle? You can see here. First, fashion major design centers or fashion shows. It is first the designer introduces his styles, new styles, colors, textures is introduced, and then it is accepted by a limited number of people, in the sense the higher income group or the fashion conscious group is what we call. So here we have, just like first time first show, the people like to see movies first time first show for their favorite stars. It is there everywhere in the world. Higher income, middle income and low income. They got a fan base. Just like that, any style coming out, there is a group of people to buy it. We call them fashion leaders. So in India, Amitabh Bachchan is a fashion leader. Actors are fashion leaders. Cricketers are fashion leaders. Some TV stars are fashion leaders. So we call them. But they wear it on, buy it at high prices and then wear it on. So that is one stage. Now look at this peak. Now what you are seeing is a fashion cycle in a graph. The horizontal axis is the time period, say number of months, and the vertical axis is the sales for that particular style. Is the sales for particular style. So we introduce that style. When introduction, definitely it needs advertisement. So it needs advertisement under various sources. So marketing, it come and everything. You advertise through TV, through media, all sorts of media, and also advertisement amount certain part is paid by the retailer. So once you advertise, people come to know. Initially, everywhere there will be a hesitancy to buy. So that is what they will need. So here there are fashion leaders, fascist conscious consumers who may be from any strata of society. They will be there from. So they are ready to buy. The point is they are ready to shell out a lot of money for that one particular garment because it is new. and it is by a famous designer. So that is what the introduction stage. I am slowly pushing my new product into the market through the retail stores, and I am watching my sales every day, and especially taking assessment in every weekend. Monday morning I sit down and see how much has been sold. So if it is selling more and more, that is the stage that people are accepting it. The fashion leaders, slowly it is growing, going to the other people and then accepting. So this introduction stage, let us take in diplomatic terms, it takes around 1 month to 45 days. 1 month to 45 days to introduce a particular style. At least a certain group of people, a certain number of people must be wearing it out. So that is called the introduction stage. Slowly, by seeing the fashion leaders, by seeing these cricketers, by seeing movie stars, we start getting inquisitive about that style. What it is, who has it on, what is the cost, and slowly we get a liking to buy it. So this is what it is. Motivation to buy comes from fashion leaders. Slowly the sales starts rising. So the graph you see there, it slowly rises up. As the weeks go, it slowly rises sales. So assuming my target is to sell 1 lakh pieces. Now in introduction stage, I can sell only 1000 pieces in the first week. Another 1 or 2000 in the second week. Slowly it will come to around 5000 pieces per week. And finally when it is rising, it goes to around 10,000 pieces per week. I am saying this sales is for the all world level. Wherever you have branches, it is selling. So manufacturer is one, but it sells all over the world. So it rises. Slowly it rises. But you see, at a certain point in the rise, it rises fast. That is, every week you see 5000 extra pieces being sold. So that is means public have accepted this style as a, and then they have started buying it. So once a style is accepted by a majority, that is called fashion. You may like it, you may not like it. You may just say it is very bad, whatever it is. The majority of consumers accept that particular style, it becomes fashion. And once it becomes fashion, the rise is very fast, as you see. And a certain stage will be reached after 3 months, say 2.5 months, which works out to 10 weeks. From the 11th week, you see, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th and 15th week, sales will be only slightly up and down. It will be somewhat the same. So you are selling around 20,000 pieces per week. It will be stabilized at that for another 4-5 weeks. So this is the stabilizing period or the peak period where which everyone who is fashion conscious, who wants a new garment, goes for this particular style. So what do you mean everyone means? At least 50% of the consumers want that particular style. So it becomes fashion and it sells like hotcakes, but it also reaches a peak after which more than 20,000 pieces for 4 weeks constantly it has reached its peak. That's what it means. And after that, you see, when everyone starts buying, the one who introduced this, the fashion leaders who may come under different strata of society, they start looking for new styles. Why? They don't want to wear on a style which they have liked earlier, which they still like, because the common man is now wearing. This is human psychology. We don't want to wear, the rich people, the higher income people, the people who are in higher strata of society, maybe in position, even if the income is not there, in position, in terms of public appeal, they are all get bored up and they don't want to wear on that style, they go for new style. At that time, this particular style which has reached its peak, every week sales drops down 5,000 pieces, 5,000 pieces, and it drops down quite fast. Okay, so from 3rd month, say 13th week or 14th week, sales gradually drops and it declines fast. 14th, 15th and 16th week you can see from 20,000 pieces it comes back to 7,000 pieces and then 5,000 pieces. This stage is known as the decline stage or going down the hill stage, the slope which is going down. So when you come down on a bicycle from a hill, you can see you do not do anything, you can just fly. So it's like flying. So So by own weight it comes higher speed. Okay. So this is what decline in sales. In decline in sales, you can just see consumers are not interested in that particular style. They are not interested at all in that particular style. So they want to look out for some other style, and there are only laggards. Laggards means after everyone puts the vaccination injection, I'll find out the entire population, oh, nothing has happened to them, I'll go put vaccination. This we found out in this corona period, in the last 2 years back. There was a hesitancy to put vaccination. They wanted to know what was the reaction, and there were a certain population of our people who were last to put. After everyone put and everything, they try out this time. They have got laggards, so they buy. They are the ones who buy at this. This is the stage when the retailer has to give a discount, without which it will not sell more. So whatever profits he has made, a certain discount he has given. So in as is various condition and say this is called decline stage. And finally, if you see, obsolescence means death. This style dies. That is, naturally any creature born in this world has to go back to Mother Earth and must die. So it must become like that. Similarly, any product, fashion product, it must have a death. So obsolescence means it is gone totally out of the society. So that is death. That period takes around 1 month to 45 days again. It takes the time for an introduction period for 6 weeks or 45 days. Around 5 weeks to 6 weeks takes the from decline to obsolescence stage. So this is the fashion cycle. This is the fashion cycle which is taking place. So you can see here there are 5 stages again. This is how we describe the cycle is there. Now please look at the thing, and then you can see it moves under 5 stages. Already I told you the introduction stage, which is around 6 weeks, rise stage, another 4 weeks, peak stage, sometimes 8 weeks, decline stage, 5 to 6 weeks, and obsolescence is around 1 month. So it goes back. Yeah, what is rise stage? I clearly told you, but this is when manufacturers of designer clothes, they start manufacturing more of that style, that particular style, allocate more machines because demand is growing, and that is what they do for this. But here if you see, one major thing is happening all over the world. See, your income, fashion leader's income, common man like me, income is not the same. I want that style, but I can't shell out that money. So which means that I can spend much lesser. This is where the designer starts using his ingenuity and uses cheap material, fabric, to make the same style. So he can give it to my budget. That is how business goes on in fashion all over the world. So this is what it is. The rise stage, mass production starts happening. I order the garment units to switch over and give me so many pieces per week. Yeah, then the peak stage is everyone is wearing leggings. Best example which I can personally see in the past few years, I go to a village, I go to a town, I go to a city, I go to a metropolitan. I can see all females of all structures and nearly all ages wearing these leggings. It looks good on them, it looks very odd on certain fat people, it looks very odd on some thin girls, but still it is selling. I am a fashion designer. I want to sell, and my product has succeeded. So that is what, this is a peak stage. Everyone, Tom, Dick and Harry is wearing. That is called the peak stage. So this lasts around 8 weeks, but this is where you get your profit. The peak stage is where you get your profit. You make your money. Make your money. Next. And then decline stages, consumer is bored, completely bored of this. So now the style has to go to a natural death. So no sales, I have to give discount, I have to try to push out of my shelf, retail shelf. This is what it is. And then obsolete stage. This is the decline stage. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. 14 minutes.